Good afternoon, I'm Maciej Mikos and you're watching World Talks. Turkish police arrested the mayor of Istanbul, Ekrem İmamoğlu, along with some 100 other people on Wednesday on charges related to terrorism and corruption. Now, is this yet another chapter of the ongoing crackdown on opposition? Will the tensions escalate? And how will it affect Brussels' relations with Ankara? And to talk about it and more, we're joined by İlkan Dalkuç, director at Daktilo 1984 website, and of course expert in Turkish affairs. Good afternoon.
Good to be here, sir.
So, first of all, who's Ekrem İmamoğlu and how popular is he in Turkey?
Ekrem İmamoğlu is the mayor of Istanbul and the possible candidate of Turkish main opposition in the next upcoming elections in Turkey. And we are waiting for an caucuses in CHP, the main opposition party in Turkey, in the next Sunday. So they government actually wants to try to try to try to nullify the possibility of the candidacy of Ekrem İmamoğlu in the upcoming election.
But does he really pose an immediate threat to Erdogan's rule in Turkey?
I mean, he is a popular candidate. He won Istanbul's mayor local elections 3 times, and and there is a genuine possibility that he can win against Erdogan in a fair and balanced election.
Mm-hmm. I see. Now, apart from arresting the mayor, some 100 people were connected to him were also detained. Now, why are authorities reacting so harshly, and what do they fear? I mean, I get that this mayor of Istanbul is a threat to President Erdogan, but what about the others?
The other people who are arrested are actually the people who are Mr. İmamoğlu is working with, and they are the team of İmamoğlu basically, and they are the colleagues of İmamoğlu who is working while he's running the running the municipality in Istanbul. And other than that, there are several journalists are also arrested. So that is an attack against İmamoğlu and İmamoğlu's position against Erdogan.
Now, before we continue our discussion on the recent events in Turkey, I'd like us to listen to Ekrem İmamoğlu only minutes before he was arrested by the Turkish police.
I'm sad to say that a handful of people who are trying to usurp the will of our nation are using our police, the security forces of this country, for evil purposes. They deployed hundreds of police officers in front of my home. We are up against severe oppression, but I want you to know that I won't give up. I love you all very much. I entrust myself to our nation. Let the entire nation know that I will stand firm. I will continue to fight against that person, Erdogan, and his mindset that used the whole process as a tool.
Now, the Istanbul University has annulled the mayor's degree, thus depriving him of chances to run for president. Now, do you find this also politically motivated?
Definitely, it is politically motivated because it's a case about 35 years ago, and there wasn't any problem for this for his degree in the last 35 years. And when there is a possibility of him running against Erdogan, the nullification arises. So that's a definite case. That is definitely behind the nullification of his degree.
Mm-hmm. And how strong is the current evidence against him, the one based on corruption and terrorism charges?
I mean, terrorism charges are actually are strategic charges in Turkey because when you put that kind of charges against some mayor, so you can just select anybody within your authority to the mayoral position. But if you just put him down with corruption cases, then the next mayor will be from the local parliament. So if he just put down with corruption cases, the mayor who will come on his place will be also from the opposition. So they want to end this chance to opposition. So they put terrorism charges also.
Now, Ekrem İmamoğlu, as we've heard, has already vowed to continue his struggle. Now, is he in position to do so? After he has been charged with terrorism offences and now and also the university affair. How can he fight against the system?
I mean, in Turkey, we are in a new phase, actually. I cannot certainly say anything about what will come next. But we will see that the opposition party, the main opposition party, CHP, will start some kind of public disobedience acts. So we will see the results of that in the upcoming weeks.
And what is the current condition, overall condition of the Turkish opposition after 20 years of Recep Erdogan's rule?
I mean, there are divisions in Turkish opposition because mainly there is an ongoing reconciliation process with Kurds and Turkish government. So, and other than that, the factions of the Turkish oppositions are also divided. And we all know that there are certain people from the opposition who are working with also the government. So that there are basically fragmentation issues in Turkish opposition. That's a serious case.
Now, Polish Prime Minister paid a visit to Turkey earlier this month and talked about the country's EU integration. Now, could today's detentions effectively halt this process for years to come?
That's a very sad case about Turkey and EU process, actually, because I don't see any possible and positive upcoming issues, upcoming anything positive from Turkish EU relationship because in today's reality, the democracy in Turkey is in shambles, actually.
But don't you think that the West could, try to turn a blind eye to the crackdown on opposition, as Ankara is regarded as one of the pillars of the future safety architecture in Europe?
Actually, Turkey is really is an important country when you are looking for the security perspective from the West. So I don't see that any meaningful pressure coming from West through Turkish government. I don't see that.
You say it's hard to predict what will happen in Turkey next, but how do you see the next few weeks, given the fact that the authorities have banned any demonstrations, this week, and the students are already voicing their discontent with the government's actions?
I mean, I predict that in the next Sunday there is an caucus in CHP, and nearly 1.5 million members of CHP will go and vote for their presidential candidate, and they will possibly elect Ekrem İmamoğlu. There is a real possibility that government tries to shut down the intra-party election, and we will see that. I'm afraid we may see something violent in the next Sunday.
Now, usually the changing of the guards happens when people lack bread. And for several years, there has been a circulating opinion that Turkey is in an economic crisis. But what is the actual standard of living today in Turkey?
I mean, the economy in Turkey is is not looking positive. But other than that, there is not an crisis of unemployment in Turkey. We must be candid about it. We must be truthful about it. There are issues of inflation, rising prices, but other than that, the economy is still running. We know that there are certain financial interruptions and financial struggles and volatility after the arrest. But other than that, I don't see that there is an overwhelming crisis on the next door. I don't see that, but we will see that the Turkish people will suffer in economical crackdown. But other than that, I don't see that any more substantial crisis. I can see that the economy will slowly will get better in the next couple of years. And as you all know that the elections will hold in Turkey in 2028 or 2027. The government has nearly two and a half years.
And do you see Recep Tayyip Erdogan becoming the president for the third term? Is there a change to the constitution on the horizon?
Not a constitutional change, but there is a real possibility that he may have some more power in Turkish parliament, and the parliament may call an early election, and then an early election will give Erdogan the possibility to be a candidate again. So there is a real possibility that Erdogan will be next president of will be again in the president of Turkey in the 2030s. There is a real possibility on that.
Something we have all grown accustomed to. And my last question would be on police brutality. Now, do you expect it to happen towards the peaceful protesters in Istanbul?
There is a real possibility on that. There is a real possibility on that because some of the arrests which happened today were based on the 2013 riots in Gezi events, and our government, Erdogan's government, is really focused on that kind of riots as a terrorist act. So I'm afraid Turkish police will confront this protest harshly.
İlkan Dalkuç, director at Daktilo 1980 for our website, and obviously great expert in Turkish affairs, was our guest today. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And thank you for watching, and stay with us for more here on TVP World.